The Enchanted Forest by Mohammed Hamza and Riza Aliya. Once upon a time, there was an enchanted forest where magical creatures and hidden treasures were said to exist. Many brave adventurers had journeyed to the forest, but few had returned with tales of what lay inside. One day, a young warrior named Rian set out on a quest to explore the enchanted forest. He wore his armor and carried his sword, ready for any danger that lay ahead. As Rian entered the forest, he felt a sense of peace wash over him. The trees were tall and lush, and the air smelled of sweet flowers. He walked for hours, taking in the beauty of the forest. But as the sun began to set, Rian realized he had lost his way. He tried to retrace his steps, but the trees all looked the same. Suddenly, he heard a rustling in the bushes. He drew his sword and prepared for battle. Out of the bushes came a small creature with big eyes and a bushy tail. It was a fairy. "Please don't hurt me," she said. "I am Lyra, the guardian of the forest. I can help you find your way if you promise not to harm any of the creatures here." Rian nodded, and Lyra led him through the forest. As they walked, Rian saw many wondrous sights. He saw a pond with talking fish, a tree with singing birds, and a clearing with dancing deer. But then, they heard a loud roar. Rian drew his sword and Lyra flew ahead to investigate. In the distance, they saw a giant creature with green scales and fiery eyes. It was a dragon. The dragon was angry because someone had stolen her treasure. She believed that Rian was the thief and demanded that he return it. Rian had no idea what she was talking about, but he knew he couldn't back down from a fight. The dragon breathed fire at Rian, but he dodged and struck her with his sword. The dragon swiped at him with her tail, but Rian jumped out of the way. It was a fierce battle, but Rian had the upper hand. Just as Rian was about to deliver the final blow, he heard a voice. "Stop!" It was Lyra. "The dragon is not the enemy. The thief is someone else." Rian lowered his sword and listened as Lyra explained that a group of goblins had stolen the dragon's treasure. They had been causing trouble in the forest, and it was up to Rian to stop them. Rian and Lyra set out to find the goblins. They searched high and low, through bushes and under rocks. Finally, they saw a glimmer of gold in a cave. Rian drew his sword and charged inside. The goblins were caught off guard, but they fought fiercely. They had weapons of their own, and they were not afraid to use them. Rian was outnumbered, but he fought with all his might. Just as it seemed like Rian was going to be defeated, he heard a beautiful song. It was Lyra, singing a lullaby. The goblins became drowsy and fell asleep. Rian seized the opportunity and took the treasure back to the dragon. The dragon was overjoyed and thanked Rian for his bravery. She gave him a magical gem as a reward, and Rian knew he had found something truly special. As Rian and Lyra left the enchanted forest, they looked back at all the magical creatures and hidden treasures. Rian felt a sense of accomplishment and gratitude for the adventure he had been on. He knew that he would always cherish the memory of the enchanted forest and the friends he had made along the way. As Rian and Lyra parted ways, Rian promised to return to the forest someday. Years later, when Rian was an old man, he returned to the enchanted forest. He was amazed to see that the forest was still as magical as ever, and he felt like he had returned home. As he walked through the forest, he saw a group of young warriors who were lost, just like he had been so many years ago. He approached them and introduced himself, offering to help them find their way. The young warriors were in awe of Rian's bravery and wisdom. They listened as he told them about his adventure in the enchanted forest and how he had made friends with the creatures there. Rian realized that the greatest treasure he had found in the enchanted forest was not the dragon's gold or the magical gem. It was the knowledge that he had gained and the memories that he had made. As Rian said goodbye to the young warriors and left the enchanted forest once more, he knew that he would always carry the forest in his heart. And he hoped that others would